What's up, divers? We have something really special for you today, and that is the first in our series of dives to do before you die. To help us out today, we have our friends from Darkside Divers joining us, and they're going to be telling us about their four favorite cenotes in Mexico.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Hello guys, before the video we have an announcement.
Hey Aitor, what do we want to tell the people today?
As you can see, it's plastic-free July.
And even if it's not July when you're watching this video, it's as good a time as ever to cut your plastic use.
So Sarah, what do we have available for the people?
Well, we have a blog listed in the description below with links to our favorite plastic-free products. Yeah. And
we have t-shirts. You can find the link on the description below.
Yeah, the t-shirts have plastic-free messages all over them, so check them out. Doesn't matter what month it is, we always want to be making plastic-free choices and reducing our plastic use because we don't want our planet to look like this.
Holy shit!
And now, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Hi friends from Azul Unlimited. We are Tavo
and Laura
from Darkside Divers, located in Riviera Maya, Mexico.
Welcome.
Remember, if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button because we are going to be creating a series out of this, dives to do before you die, so you don't want to miss out on those. And also, I've listed a bunch of really useful information in the description below. You're going to find contact information for Darkside Divers, all of their social media links, and then, of course, all the normal stuff for Azul Unlimited. And then just because I really miss the cenotes of Mexico, I'm also going to hop in and share my favorite dive in the Riviera Maya. So that's right, we're talking about 5 of the best cenote dives that you can find in the Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Tulum area of Mexico.
The Riviera Maya is known as the Mecca for cave diving.
Let's get to it. Welcome to our channel. This is Azul Unlimited, where we teach all things scuba diving. There are so many amazing places in the world. We are connected to a ton of just spectacular dive professionals. So we want to support them, especially right now coming out of this pandemic or maybe still fully in it. And we also just want to share maybe some little hidden gems that you haven't thought about visiting before. So we're starting the series in Mexico. The Riviera Maya is just some of the most spectacular diving that you can do, whether you're an open water diver or you're starting to get into cave diving or technical diving. The cenotes are just out of this world. The image that you would typically find if you Google cenote is basically a sinkhole in the jungle. That means that there are these underground caves that at one point were dry, but the water table has risen and so they have all become flooded. And so you are in the jungle and you come up to this hole in the ground and there's this beautiful crystal clear water waiting below. And then in a lot of these places, because there are kilometers and kilometers of cave systems in the Riviera Maya, you go in and you find caverns and caves. Some of the dives that we talk about today are appropriate for either open water divers or advanced open water divers. However, some of the dives that our friends at Darkside Divers mention are cave dives.
So today we're going to be talking about Ponderosa, Maravilla, Cenote Borge, Monkey Dust, and Mayan Blue.
Also gonna be talking a little bit about the training for side mount and cave diving.
So today we're going to talk about cenotes that we like a lot because we don't really have a favorite one. You know, it's like asking a mother who their favorite child is. They might have one, but they won't tell.
The first cenote we're going to be mentioning will be Ponderosa, also known as Jardín del Eden. It's a destination that you can go for swimming. It's an excellent place for cave or cavern or side mount training. The open water is quite large and not too deep, like 5 to 6 meters. And it has endless opportunities for cave navigation. And the cavern tour, I would say it's quite magical. The sunbeams that you can see during the cavern tour are amazing.
Another one of our favorite dives around here, it's Cenote Maravilla. Maravilla in Spanish means wonder, and it really is a wonder. It's a sinkhole kind of cenote, really deep. It goes down to like around 65, 68 meters. The entrance is quite small, but as you go in, it opens up. In between 26, 27 meters, you find this cloud of sulfur. And as you go through it, you can also see how the stream is running. It's just an amazing experience. It's probably the most beautiful beam of light that you can find around here. An amazing experience.
It's kind of like diving in the heaven. I've heard from many divers, from customers have said this, and I would say the same. Then there is a cenote south of Tulum, Cenote Borge, also known as Monkey Dust, that is worth mentioning. This place has some open water. The entrance is pretty spectacular because it's like a large dark cave where the ladder goes in. You can get amazing shots from outside, but yeah, this is only for cave divers. The cenote is part of the Sistema Dos Pisos. It's quite shallow, from 5 to 6 meters more or less. What I would say personally that makes it special is that it's really white inside. There are some really white rooms, and on the bottom of the cenote you can find pieces of charcoal that is actually from the ancient inhabitants of the area that used it as a shelter. So it really is like diving through the history.
Alright, if you've gotten this far and you've enjoyed this little list, please hit that subscribe button and the little bell so that you don't miss any more of these videos.
Also, another cenote that we like a lot is called Mayan Blue, better known as Cenote Escondido. This cenote is an open cenote. It's quite popular for tourists that want to go and bathe there. However, this is more a cave. We often use it for training for cave diving. It gets its name from the blue that you can see when you're diving in it, and you go through the Halocline and you look up with the light as you're painting the cave. And it looks bluish, it's this special shade of blue. It's this Mayan blue. So it's an amazing experience. This cenote is part of Sistema Oxvelja, which is the second largest cave system in the world, underwater cave system in the world. It really is one of my favorites. It's like a playground. You know, there's a lot of navigation. You can spend countless hours. You can do countless different dives, and you won't do the same dive. I mean, it's just really, really fun. You need to be a cave diver, and it's often used, once again, to train to get the cave certification. Beautiful.
Alright guys, I just wanted to hop in here really quick to give you a little information about what they're talking about. A halocline is where we have salt water coming in contact with fresh water. Because of the different densities, they layer out. So the salt water will stay below and the fresh water will hang out on top. And the interesting thing is that when you're in the fresh water, everything is perfectly clear. And when you go to that line where they mix, you pass through it and you have the sensation like when you're driving a car in the rain, like you can still kind of see, but it's super, super blurry. It's really trippy. And the cool thing is that you go through that little layer and you keep going down into the salt water, and all of a sudden it just clears up again. And it's just the most beautiful, spectacular view once again, but you're in salt water. The haloclines are a big reason why if you're gonna go diving in the cenotes, you need to make sure that you have your buoyancy under control. Some of these dives, they're super, super shallow, so you can do them as an open water diver, but really be mindful, make sure that you're signing up when you feel like you can control your buoyancy. Alright, I had to hop in here and add one to the list because honestly, I miss the cenotes in Mexico. One of my all-time favorite cenotes is called Cenotes Up. The way that it's structured is basically a sinkhole, and the entrance is a little bit narrow, but it is open water. And then you go down and it bells out into this gorgeous room. The reason why this cenote is so special to me is because of the Hell's Bells that are completely unique. These structures are around 28 meters, something like that, so you do need to be advanced certified, and I highly recommend to be nitrox certified as well because you want to be able to spend some time down at depth. The interesting thing about them is that they've found that they are the only formations in the caves and the cenotes that are continuing to grow. They're enormous and they're beautiful. There's also a sulfur cloud down 35 meters, I believe. And, you know, that's always an interesting thing to experience. If you are a technical diver and you want to really explore the cenote, it's well worth getting the gases so that you can do a really long, deep dive in the cenote.
Yucatan Peninsula has thousands of cenotes. It's not that you don't find flooded caves anywhere else in the world. It's just that here you will find the major concentration of them, making it the best place to get cave certified. You see, when I go and dive in the ocean, when I first started diving, I loved it because it made me feel that I was actually part of something bigger. You know, you go in the water and you see the sharks, you see the fish, you see the reef. And so it made me more environmentally aware. So I would care more for the environment. I would be more conscious about these kind of things. So it made me feel, once again, part of something bigger than me. But whenever I go cave diving, it's like a more selfish kind of thing. It's just the cave, my team, and me, my equipment. And quite often we get caught up with the day-to-day routine. When I'm in a cave, you know, none of that matters. Maybe some people dare to say that it's like meditating. It's the sound of your bubbles, following the line, following the plan. It's a more introspective kind of thing. When you're in there, the only thing that really matters is making it back out. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people think cave diving it's for the brave and bold. Well, I'm bold, but not that kind of bold. But you know, like the badass. No, you just have to follow the rules. You just have to follow proper training, proper protocol, and it's one of the most rewarding things you will ever experience. Okay, so we hope you like
Our little video. Again, we are Tavo,
and Laura.
and you can find us on under the name of Darkside Divers MX.
On Instagram and Facebook. Dive safe.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Darkside Divers, for helping us out with this little countdown of the best dives to do in the Riviera Maya. Diving in the cenotes is by far one of the top reasons to go to the Riviera Maya. It is an experience that you will never ever forget, but you do need to make sure that you do your research before you go diving. All things considered, these cavern dives for open water and advanced open water divers, they're very safe, but you do need to make sure that you go with professionals, and that's why we've connected with Darkside Divers, because we know that they are really well trained, they take safety really seriously, and they're really familiar with the cave systems in the area. So again, if you want to contact them, you want to go diving in Mexico, you have their contact information and their social medias down in the description below. You also have all of our contact information there too if you have any other questions about anything else. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of these videos. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, you look like plastic free, you like.